This is take 2 on a response to Bianca Brown's video. So, first of all, your description of Leopold and the land as a community like our neighbors, so that we can develop care and respect, as you know, you got that right for sure, and especially mentioning just treatment, that the land deserves justice just like our neighbors deserve justice. I think that's a very important point that kind of slips by some folks. So very good. It would have been good to maybe hear an anecdote or personal experience or something that kind of links to this, or even something you've heard in the news or whatever. So if you, for your next post, if you can think through doing something like that, that would be great. And then you brought up McDonough and Brongart, this idea of a false sense of progress, which is which is something that's going on quite a bit with greenwashing, and this idea that, well, we're doing enough. We took out this one thing from our product, so ignore the fact that there are a bunch more that are horrible and dangerous, and among other things. So we need to be able to see past that, see past the marketing, and see past that false sense of progress that you were talking about. And then in the Agyeman reading, you were talking about this disconnect between science and sustainable development and social engagement, which is a very important point. And it's something that's really hard to get past. It's hard to get people to think about more than one thing at once, really, or to think in very complex ways about things. So hopefully we'll get into some of those ways to think with complexity about the issues, and in ways that we can pass on to other people, because it's a very important thing, seeing those connections. Then also seeing sustainable communities. I think what you were getting at here was this idea that sustainable communities are even in the interest of government community development, and obviously from the kind of local level as well. That it's an important thing to approach from kind of the policy level and from government, but then also locally. So that's something that isn't done very often and is important. And I think the San Francisco plan definitely showed some of those issues with getting enough people on board within a community versus getting policies in place, and how there can be some disconnects in that way that make things still not function. Then going back to McDonough and Brongart and the idea of downcycling, you definitely had a good description of that. Again, it would have been nice to hear an example, some sort of illustrative example, but obviously you got and were able to distill it for other people to listen to, so that's a great thing. As you probably know by now, your volume was very low in the video, so I don't know if you want to check your microphone level or whatever. I'm not sure what your hardware is, but it was a little rough to hear. So turn it up. Is that Bianca Freedom Rock? That's probably a joke from a bygone era. Anyway, your ideas deserve higher volume. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I look forward to your next post.